Well, stocks opening higher for the day. This follows yesterday's sell-off with the Dow looking to rebound following its worst day that we'd seen since in over a year. But still, though, heading for a weekly loss. And when you take a look at the NASDAQ here today, up just about 0.4%, the NASDAQ in the green. So checking in on Nvidia, one of the big drivers of that tech movement here over the last several months, several quarters. It's just around the flat line today, but we do want to point out that Nvidia closed the day yesterday up just about 9%. It was actually one of the only Mag 7 name to close out yesterday in the green. So let's talk about what this means for the broader macro picture. For that, we want to bring in Mike Nell. He is UBS Asset Management Senior Portfolio Manager. Mike, it's great to have you here at the desk. So talk to us just about how you're looking at this movement, this excitement that we've been seeing in Nvidia surrounding these chip names and what that signals for the broader market.
Well, Nvidia obviously is the leader in AI processing. They have a technology called a GPU, graphics processing unit, which they've evolved into an AI processing unit over time, and they've specialized instructions and capabilities in those chips that have made them the leader in the space. They also have a software interface called CUDA that allows people to easily program the chips for these AI applications and other applications that are what they call heavily parallelizable. And so it's a great story that Nvidia has. Their revenue growth has been stupendous. Their profit growth has been even better. And but there's a lot of competition coming. When you have a market that's as profitable as this, it sort of draws a bullseye for all the competition. And so there's a number of other companies that are coming after them, including AMD. We've also been owning stocks that support the chips, but things like memory chips. You need lots of memory bandwidth to make these chips work. And so that's been another theme that's been working pretty well.
We hear Warren Buffett always talk about moats. How deep or entrenched is the moat that Nvidia has, even in the face of that competition that you're mentioning on the AI front?
It depends who you ask. If you ask Nvidia, they think it's a solid moat that cannot be penetrated, and it is very solid, I think. But if you ask Intel and AMD, there are ways to get around the CUDA interface. There are third-party and open interfaces that are being developed that they're supporting, and they're doing everything they can to help the customers migrate their software from CUDA to these open platforms. That'll take time. In the meantime, NVIDIA is going to have quite a run, I think.
So you can talk about quite a run. Are we just still in the early innings of this excitement surrounding AI? And then when we talk about real life applications, how much of this hype and excitement has to do with what is happening currently versus what could happen in the next several years?
I think a lot of it's already based on what could happen. You hear people talk not so much about applications for AI, but what they call use cases. And the use case is more of a theoretical application. It's not one that there's proven demand for today, but there are things that are likely to develop over time. So a lot of this is speculative. Everybody's got a fear of being left behind. So it's everything from companies, even governments are buying these chips so that they can have an AI capability within their country. And a lot of it's on speculation. But it doesn't seem to be at this point quite as exaggerated as the internet bubble. I started as an analyst back in 1998, so I lived through that. And that was different. Valuations were really stretched during that period. Not so much this time, I think.
And so there was a massive fallout of a multitude of companies who were trying to latch on to the dot-com fervor. Will we see the same here within the AI landscape?
I think so. There's funny stories about just companies that announced that they had an internet capability back in 1999 and caused the stock to go up tremendously. I think you'll probably see some examples of that with AI that probably, with hindsight, won't make so much sense. But everybody's kind of getting in there. The best areas I think to focus on for investment are what people call like the picks and shovels area. So that would be the semiconductor companies like Nvidia and others, but also the applications that are real today. So things like social media ad targeting or search. Those are areas where AI has already proven itself.
Mike Nell, UBS Asset Management Senior Portfolio Manager. Mike, thanks so much for joining us in studio today.
Thank you.